Folks, buckle up, because the global economy is on a roller coaster designed by clowns, and guess what? The clowns are in charge. Hello, economic warriors, financial freedom fighters, and everyday folks just trying to survive this chaotic mess we call the global economy. Welcome back to Boss Economics World, the only place on the internet where we shred through the economic garbage, expose government incompetence, and serve up the spiciest takes on what's tanking your wallet, your investments, and, let's be real, your faith in humanity. I'm your host, the no-nonsense truth-teller of the dismal science, and today, we're diving headfirst into the latest dumpster fire of economic mismanagement, the US-China trade war, now escalated to intergalactic levels of stupidity in 2025. Oh, and before we get started, smash that like button, ring the bell, and share this video with everyone you know who's tired of watching politicians play economic whack-a-mole with our livelihoods. Let's get to it. So, here's the deal, folks. Our fearless leader, President Donald Trump, is back at it again, swinging his tariff hammer like Thor on a bad hair day, and China? Oh, they're swinging right back, grounding Boeing jets and slapping 125% tariffs on everything American from apple pie to iPhones. And guess who's caught in the crossfire? You, me, and every hardworking person trying to pay their bills in this clown show economy. According to the White House, Trump's latest genius strategy is to sit back, fold his arms, and wait for China to reach out to him, like some kind of economic prom date. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, reading what she claims was a Trump-dictated statement, had the audacity to say, the ball is in China's court. China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them. Oh, really, Caroline? Tell that to the millions of American consumers, businesses, and workers getting crushed by this trade war that your boss keeps escalating like it's a reality TV rating stunt. Meanwhile, China's playing hardball too, folks. They've ordered their airlines to stop taking deliveries of Boeing jets, our pride and joy of American manufacturing, because Trump decided to hike tariffs on Chinese goods to a staggering 145%. And China's response? A 125% tariff on all U.S. goods, effective April 12, 2025. This is tit for tat on steroids, people, and it's not just a trade war anymore, it's an economic nuke-fest, and we're all in the fallout zone. Let's start with the surface-level madness, shall we? Trump's out here on social media, whining that China just reneged on the big Boeing deal from his first administration, as if he didn't see this coming. Newsflash, Mr. President, when you slap 145% tariffs on a country's exports, they're not exactly going to send you a thank you note and a fruit basket. They're going to hit back, and hit back hard. And China's not just hitting back, they're targeting strategic industries like Boeing, a company that employs over 140,000 Americans and supports millions more through its supply chain. But oh no, Trump's not done yet. He's got his trade team negotiating with dozens of other trading partners to lower trade barriers, pausing tariffs for 90 days starting April 10, 2025, to allow time for talks. And get this, he wants to personally sign off on all of these deals. Because apparently, the man who brought us the NFT trading cards and the hush money scandals is now the world's greatest trade negotiator. Give me a break, folks. This isn't leadership, it's a one-man circus, and the ringmaster's got no clue how to tame the lions. Now, let's peel back the layers of this onion, because it's making me cry just thinking about it. This trade war isn't just about Trump's ego or China's retaliation, it's a masterclass in government mismanagement, and it's dragging the global economy into a recession faster than you can say, supply chain crisis. First up, let's talk inflation, folks, because this trade war is pouring gasoline on an already raging fire. Tariffs are taxes, plain and simple, and who pays them? Not China, not Trump, you do. According to a 2023 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research, the US-China tariffs imposed during Trump's first term cost American consumers $40 billion annually in higher prices. And that was with tariffs averaging 19%. Now, with tariffs at 145% on Chinese goods, the cost is going to be astronomical. Just look at the data, people. The U.S. Consumer Price Index, CPI, has already been climbing, hitting 4.8% year-over-year in March 2025, according to the latest Bureau of Labor Statistics release. And that's before these new tariffs kick in. Once they do, expect prices on everything, electronics, clothing, toys, auto parts, to skyrocket. A 2024 Moody's Analytics report estimated that a full-scale escalation of tariffs to 100% plus levels could push U.S. inflation above 7% by mid-2025. That's not just a number, folks, that's your grocery bill, your rent, your kids' school supplies, all going up in smoke because of government incompetence. Next, let's talk supply chains, because this Boeing fiasco is just the tip of the iceberg. China's decision to halt Boeing deliveries isn't just a slap in the face to American manufacturing, it's a death blow to an already struggling industry. Boeing, which has been reeling from safety scandals and production delays, was counting on China to be a major growth market. According to the International Air Transport Association, IATA, China is projected to become the world's largest aviation market by 2030, with demand for 8,000 new aircraft over the next 2 decades. But now, thanks to Trump's tariff tantrum, Boeing's losing billions in orders, and Airbus, based in Europe, is swooping in to grab the market share. And it's not just Boeing, folks. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce reported in April 2025 that 78% of American businesses are facing supply chain disruptions due to the trade war, with small and medium-sized enterprises hit the hardest. These are the mom-and-pop shops, the local manufacturers, the backbone of the American economy, and they're getting crushed because Trump and Xi Jinping are playing economic chicken. Oh, and let's not forget the jobs, folks, because Trump loves to tout his tariffs as a way to bring jobs back to America. But here's the reality: tariffs destroy more jobs than they create. A 2024 Federal Reserve study found that Trump's first-term tariffs led to a net loss of 142,000 U.S. jobs, as higher costs for businesses and consumers outweighed any gains in protected industries. And now, with tariffs at 145%, the damage is going to be even worse. Take the agriculture sector, for example. China's 125% tariffs on U.S. goods are killing American farmers, who rely on exports to China for soybeans, pork, and other products. The American Farm Bureau Federation reported in March 2025 that farm bankruptcies are up 24% year-over-year, and net farm income is projected to fall by 18% in 2025 due to the trade war. But hey, at least Trump's got his photo ops with steelworkers, right? And finally, folks, let's zoom out to the big picture, because this isn't just an American problem, it's a global one. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, warned in its April 2025 World Economic Outlook that the U.S.-China trade war could shave 1.5% off global GDP by 2026, pushing the world into a recession. And guess what? The warning signs are already here. The World Trade Organization, WTO, reported in March 2025 that global trade volumes fell by 3.2% year-over-year, the sharpest decline since the 2008 financial crisis. Meanwhile, the U.S. economy is teetering on the edge. The Conference Board's leading economic index, a key predictor of recessions, has been declining for 6 consecutive months as of April 2025. And with the Federal Reserve caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to fight tariff-driven inflation without tanking growth, the odds of a U.S. recession by the end of 2025 are now at 65%, according to Goldman Sachs' latest forecast. So, what's the real issue here, folks? It's not just tariffs, it's not just China, it's the government's complete and utter failure to manage the economy like grown-ups. Trump's strategy of escalating tariffs, refusing to negotiate, and treating trade deals like reality TV episodes is a disaster waiting to happen. And China's not innocent either. Their retaliatory measures are just as short-sighted, prioritizing national pride over economic stability. But let's be real, the buck stops with the U.S. government. Instead of working toward free trade agreements that benefit everyone, Trump's administration is obsessed with protectionism, ego, and political theater. And the rest of us? We're the ones paying the price, literally and figuratively. Here's what needs to happen, folks, and I'm not holding my breath, because expecting competence from this administration is like expecting a cat to file your taxes. First, both the US and China need to get back to the negotiating table, not with insults and ultimatums, but with a real plan to de-escalate tariffs and restore trade flows. Second, the US needs to invest in its workers and businesses, not with empty promises of protectionism, but with real policies, education, infrastructure, innovation, that make us competitive in the global economy. And third, the Federal Reserve needs to stop playing catch-up and get ahead of this inflation crisis before it spirals out of control. Folks, this trade war is a textbook example of how government mismanagement can take a strong economy and drive it straight into the ground. And the saddest part? It's all so preventable. But as long as we have leaders more interested in scoring political points than solving problems, we're stuck in this economic quagmire. So, what can you do? Stay informed, stay angry, and hold these clowns accountable. Share this video, leave a comment, and let's start a movement to demand better economic leadership. Because at Boss Economics World, we believe you deserve an economy that works for you, not against you. Until next time, keep fighting the good fight, and remember, the government might be clueless, but we're not. See you in the next video.